Good evening and welcome to the Tuesday, June 17th, 2025 Board of Adjustment hearing, or Board of Adjustment meeting, excuse me. Tonight on the agenda, our first item is approval of minutes from the previous meeting, which was Wednesday, June 4th. And it started at 5:30 and ended at 5:33.
I move we approve the minutes as written by the staff.
It's been moved. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Is there further discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye, and we'll start over on
I
Marshall.
abstain, I wasn't there.
Okay.
Aye.
Aye. Next item is public comment. 15 minutes is dedicated to the public. They can speak to the board on any matters not on our agenda tonight and not pending currently before the Board of Adjustment. That's not you. Seeing no other persons in the audience and staff not wanting to talk, we'll go ahead and do away with that. I would like to introduce Lucy. She's our new person. She will be replacing Mike so he can go back and terrorize the Planning and Zoning Commission. It's been great having you. Assuming we'll have you if we have anything else for a little bit left. So, okay. Welcome aboard, Lucy.
Thank you.
And of course, Jennifer, you're always awesome. So the third item on our agenda is a public hearing proposed for a conditional use permit at 1638 Christopher Lane. And Michael, present.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the board. So before you tonight is a conditional use permit public hearing. It's a detached private garage not to exceed 1,500 square feet located at 1638 Christopher Lane. So the applicants applied for a CUP to build a 1,408 square foot detached garage. 1638 Christopher Lane is located in suburban residential zoning district, where attached and detached private garages and workshops, essentially over 1,001 square feet, but not to exceed 1,500 square feet, are a conditional use permit. So this is the subject property highlighted in red at the center of your screen there. You can see Christopher Lane ends in a cul-de-sac. This is Hershey Road there. We've got Pheasant Run lane to the north, and over here in the distance on the east side is Orchard Avenue. Just a closer view of the subject property. So suburban residential is a minimum of 1 acre lot size. So all the surrounding lots in this area are about that same size. You can see it's single family dwellings predominate the area, and there's one single family dwelling with a driveway coming off of Christopher Lane on the south side of the lot there. Looking at the topography for the property, you can see fairly flat adjacent to Christopher Lane, then drops off as it slopes to the north. So decreasing elevation there. It's about 30 foot of elevation change from the flat area down to the bottom of the neighbor's driveway down there to the north. Looking at the zoning configuration of the area, like I mentioned before, suburban residential. There is an R4 zone further to the west, ag forest to the north, beyond Pheasant Run Lane, pocket of ag forest to the east, and then R2, a portion of the south side of Hershey Road. So looking at principal structure setbacks for the SR zone, front's 25, rear's 30, and the side is 20 feet. Accessory structures over 200 square feet. There is an exception within the code that you achieve a rear yard setback of 5 feet instead of the 30-foot rear yard setback. But the limitation there is that the total wall height is limited to 14 feet and the total height of the structure is limited to 35 feet. Brings us to the site plan the applicant submitted. You can see there's an access easement. This crosses the neighbor's driveway here to the north. And then the driveway extends to the northern portion of the property. And this is the footprint of the proposed private garage. There's a retaining wall. It's appears to be about 5-6 feet based upon the contour lines located here in order for the driveway to go into and access the structure. So just wanted to point out kind of that access easement coming through the neighbor's driveway. The applicant had previously applied for a lot line adjustment that was approved by council earlier this year. And you can see the access easement and the crosshatched line or cross that shaded area crossing the property there to the north. These are the elevations submitted by the applicant. You can see meets the 14-foot wall height criteria and doesn't exceed 35 feet in height. It's about 25.5 feet. There's a couple different iterations there of what could be constructed as far as garage doors in the front. I think the applicant's still deciding which one to go with, but you can see a man door and a window, and then a larger garage door on the left, and then two garage doors and one man door on the alternate elevation. And that would be facing the west. So the south elevation, obviously smaller just because of placed into the contours, and the retaining wall occurs in that area. And then the north elevation, so that'd be the total height of the structure, 14 feet to the eave, and then 25.5 feet to the peak of the roof. This is a east elevation, so you can see kind of the contours there, and sloping, and then obviously shorter on one side of the structure than the other. And then the floor plan, so the structure is 44 feet in depth by 32 feet in width. And then the applicant has indicated that the exterior building materials will be similar to the house that currently exists there. So just wanted to depict that. So with that, staff recommends approval of the CUP 1638 Christopher Lane for the 1,408 square foot private garage with no conditions. And certainly the board shall direct staff to prepare RCS at the upcoming meeting based upon the decision. And certainly be able to answer any questions you have.
Marshall. Sure. Mike, if this was a attached dwelling, either an addition or when the home was built, they wouldn't have to get a conditional use permit then, would it? If it was attached to the house?
If it's attached to the house, then typically it would still fall under our definition of accessory structure. So they're still limited to the 1,000 square feet if they want to go up to 1,500. We don't have very many of those. And some people choose to kind of partition off those areas. So maybe they have a workshop area and they decide to wall that off.
Mhm.
It's typically what people choose to do. But yeah, it still applies to the principal structure in the house.
Okay, so if it was less than 1,000 square feet, then it was no problem if it was.
Be permitted.
Okay.
Correct. Yeah.
Great, thanks, Mike.
Other questions? All right. At this time, I'll open the public hearing. I'll let the applicant talk to us, and we'll go from there. State your name and address for the record.
Yeah, I'm Edward Coulter, 1638 Christopher Lane here in Moscow. I'm the applicant. Hoping to construct this building, given the conditional use permit later this summer, while things are dry. Would be very nice to have the extra parking so I can not park my RV alongside of my house. I think that will be a net positive for my neighbors. I don't see any of them here complaining about it, so I think they agree. And I think it'll be a good use of that steep part of my property that doesn't have much use otherwise.
Okay.
Happy to answer any questions.
Questions?
Do you have a stairwell to go down, or that's a little bit of a hike to go up and down to?
It'll be a little bit of a hike. Might put in stairs someday, but haven't really thought about that yet.
It's a pretty home, by the way, it looks like.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, being clear down the hill like that, you're not gonna be blocking anybody's view, that's for sure.
It doesn't. No, it doesn't. It blocks my view of the Pheasant Run cul-de-sac.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else for the applicant? All right.
Thank you.
At this time, we'll open the public hearing for comments in support of the application.
Crickets.
Hearing none, we'll open the application or the comments for those against the application.
More crickets.
Hearing none, we will open the mic for anyone who would like to make comments in general about the application. Would the applicant like to make a rebuttal to any of the comments that we've heard tonight? I'll close the public hearing and we'll discuss.
Marshall.
I think it's pretty straightforward and, you know, the zone, the suburban residential zone, you know, is there a maximum square footage or a minimum square footage in that zone, Mike? 1,500.
For accessory structures, it's going to be 1,500, but as far as principal structures like houses, there's no.
I meant as far as lot size.
Oh, there's no maximum, but the minimum is an acre,
Was how much?
1 acre.
1 acre. So, you know, it seems to me if you've got an acre of property, it's just perfect for a shop. And
Or a swimming pool.
and every man needs a shop, every woman needs a shop, but yeah,
Every RV needs a shop.
yes. So no, it seems real straightforward, and there's no neighbors here to testify against it. He's got an easement through to access the bottom part of it. Yeah, I'm in favor of it.
No comment. Looks good.
Did I hear that as a motion?
Yeah, I would move approval of the conditional use permit and ask that staff prepare the relevant criteria and standards and bring it to us at the nearest convenient time.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. Further discussion? Hearing none, we'll start with you, Tim.
Yes.
Yes,
Aye.
Aye.
it is unanimous. Congratulations. Our next item of business is, our next upcoming meeting is 5:30 the 24th. Is that next Tuesday? And it's up here or down below? Up here, okay. Can everybody be here on Tuesday?
I think so.
Next Tuesday.
Yep. All right. Would anybody have anything else for the good of the order? I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Doesn't require a second.
Okay.
We're done.